take a look at some everyday lessons we can learn from this week's cybersecurity news. I'm here with George Graziano. Welcome, George.
Thank you, Don.
George, tell me about this story about Wasted Locker ransomware. What is it? What's different about it?
So the difference, what Wasted Locker sets so far apart from the others is it doesn't come through as typical ransomware, like through an email, through a phishing campaign. It has been seen lately through what they call a drive-by attack, or like a compromised website that's hosting a bit of code that you normally would visit, and it would drop it on your machine and then perform, the typical ransomware abilities. And one of the second things is the extension that it puts on the encrypted files. What it does is it takes the name of the corporation that it's attacking, and it attaches wasted after it. So it's a little bit of a little nudge to the IR team and to the company itself that you guys pretty much got hacked.
Now, usually with ransomware, we tell people to beware of phishing emails. However, since this is not spread by a phishing email, tell me how you can protect yourself.
Try to take a second look at that URL bar. Make sure it's taking you to where you normally go. It's to make sure it's not redirecting you somewhere else. Because what has been known to happen is these teams are already in your environment. They're already they're fingerprinting some basic heuristics on the company, so they know where users are going. So they know that the websites you normally go to. So just take a quick look at the URL that you normally go to, and make sure there's no sneaky redirects or nothing that pops up on your screen saying, "Oh, your Adobe, update is in." It's okay if your Adobe is not 100% updated, at least at this time. Check it out. Cancel. Go to Adobe's website later on, and see if you indeed do need an update. So don't answer yes to any pop-ups that you don't normally see when visiting the websites you usually go to.
Now, tell me about this story about OAuth attacks. What is that about?
Since we're so used to signing into Microsoft for our email, for OneNote, for Word, some people have Office 365 in the cloud. Clicking on Authenticate with Microsoft is something that most people are used to doing. So when they go to click on the OAuth button or the login button, they're not typically looking at what URL that button is pointing to. So when it comes to using Microsoft OAuth to log into different parts of the Microsoft ecosystem, hover over that button, hover over that link that they're sending you to say, "Oh, click here to update your profile." Just hover over that link and make sure it's taking you to a Microsoft site and not to some strange long string where it just does not seem right. And maybe instead of going through that link, log into the portal yourself through the Microsoft portal, not through an email and not through a site that looks somewhat suspicious.
Well, that's a great way to protect yourself. Now, tell me about Firefox Send and what's happened with that.
So with Firefox Send, Firefox decided to make it easy for people to transfer files, large files, typically up to 2.5 gig. And the malicious actors also found that very convenient because it creates a one-time use link, a URL, with very little way to track it. So the malicious actors were using that link to host payloads, host malware. I also read somewhere that it was being used to exfiltrate data. So once they got a foothold in your network, they were, packing files up and shipping them to Firefox Send. And then on the other end, there's somebody waiting to just pull them down. And again, you don't need any login. You can just generate a package right off the bat really easily. So it was hard for incident response teams to track that behavior.
So then, how do you stay safe?
As of now, Firefox has pulled that service. They've completely shut it down for that reason, that some researchers were complaining that it was being used maliciously, and they found some bad files being used. Data loss protection software on laptops should be monitoring file sizes that large being shipped off of the laptop. So anytime a file of a certain size gets pulled off of a machine, that should set off an alarm.
Okay, well, thank you very much, George. Thank you all for watching. And if you want to keep up with this great advice, please like or subscribe below. And if you want to take a deeper look into any of these stories, click on the playlist below. We'll see you next time.